So this week we are going to get into the art of listening. And what this involves in is understanding how to listen to music and what to listen for. Things that will turn us from passive listeners, where music is just kind of on in the background and you're maybe not really paying a lot of attention to it, but more to be active listeners, where you're aware of various things that are going on in the music. So, what you're going to read in your first three chapters are about the three main elements of music. And we begin with the first element being rhythm. And my definition of rhythm is a pattern of movement through time. So a rhythm is different than beats. We can have a beat, just that's just a beat. But you can have a different pattern going over it, maybe something like this. Now the beat can stay the same, but you can change your rhythm, maybe a more medium-ish rhythm. You can have a fast rhythm without the beat changing. Maybe you could have a kind of funky rhythm. So here's the beat. And when we talk about various tunes having different rhythms, we're really referring to how we're putting that movement together. And in music notation, we get things that look like what you're looking at on the page. Now, because this class is not a music theory class, you don't have to worry about these kind of things. But in your text, you'll be seeing lots of musical kind of examples. And on the left-hand side is kind of a mathematical breakdown of how rhythmic notation looks. And on the right-hand side is some piano music that, just looking at it, you can tell there's a lot of rhythmic activity happening in that piece. Another thing you're going to read about in your text is meter. And that's a way to organize rhythm. Now, there's a lot of numbers up on that page. You really don't have to worry about too much of them. Just the fact, let me give you some simple ideas. Something like a duple meter is when we listen to the music, we kind of feel it moving in two, kind of like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Something that would be a triple meter might be. We feel that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And something quadruple. Quadruple is just the duple doubled up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So something like Jingle Bells would be in a quadruple. Of course, that's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now, something like the triple might be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So in your text, they'll be talking about various kinds of music being in duple or triple or quadruple, and those are some standard metrical organizations of rhythm. The second main element of music is melody. And that is an organized succession of single tones. So you can take any group of sounds, tones, put them in a certain order, and you'll have a melody. You're looking at what melody looks like with rhythm and pitches. So the lower a note is on the 5 lines, the lower it's going to sound, and the higher, of course, it sounds higher. So I'm going to play that little tune you're looking at. So, of course, this isn't a music theory class, so we don't have to worry about what notes are we actually looking at or the breakdown, but you will see some music examples, and maybe that gives you a little idea of what is happening as far as music goes. So far we have rhythm, melody, and when we talk about melody, you're going to read about melodies being in different keys, and that's the color of a melody. So, for instance, this is Jingle Bells in the key of C. This is Jingle Bells in the key of C sharp. Or Happy Birthday in the key of F. Happy Birthday in the key of G, a higher key. So you'll hear reference in your reading about things like the symphony in A, or the symphony in D, or the concerto in F. They're referring to the key and where that particular color of the key is. And finally, your last main element of music is harmony, and that's where we have a simultaneous sounding of two or more notes, and it's chords. So we can have one note, put a second note to it, and you have harmony. What you have there at the bottom of your page are three chords that look like this. So when we talk about harmony, we can talk about harmony that has fairly simple, typical, expected harmony. Maybe something with some jazzier harmony. Maybe something with bizarre dissonant harmony. So that's all harmony, hearing two or more notes. And the most important thing, as we read our text, you're going to read about the idea of tonality, that the harmony can be in something called a major or minor tonality. When we talk about pieces being in a major key, they tend to have a bright, happy sound, and pieces of music that are in a minor key tend to have a dark, sad sound. So here's a little bit of major. Here's minor. So to give a little example, here's Jingle Bells in the key it is written in, the tonality of major. And here's Jingle Bells if I change it up to minor. And you will hear references to things like the symphony in C minor, the concerto in G major, and what they're telling us is not only what color the particular key is in, but also the tonality, if it tends to land on the major or the minor side, the bright, the dark side, and of course in one piece a composer can use various kinds of things. So these are the things that you'll be reading about, doing review activities on, and I hope that you enjoy the week.